Chargers fans, buckle up. A surprise move on defense might have just sealed the fate of one of our key secondary players. The front office made a bold decision to lock in a crucial piece, but that could mean another fan favorite is on his way out. And trust me, this one's gonna hit home. Before we dive in, smash that like button and subscribe. This is where you get real, no-nonsense Chargers analysis. Now here's the big question. How much is too much when it comes to keeping an elite player who spent most of last season sidelined? Do you roll the dice on talent, or is it smarter to move on and invest in more reliable options? That's exactly the dilemma the Bolts are facing right now, and the move they just made has massive implications for the future of this defense. The Chargers front office just secured one of the most versatile players on the roster. Elijah Molden, a hybrid defensive back who can play both safety and corner, signed a 3-year extension worth $18.75 million. It's a significant investment, but one that makes a lot of sense. Molden had a breakout year in 2024, proving he can be a cornerstone of this defense. But here's where things get tricky. What does this mean for the two other big names in our secondary set to hit free agency? Asante Samuel Jr. and Christian Fulton are both without contracts, and let's be real, keeping all three? Not happening. With Molden locked in, the writing's on the wall for at least one of them. And if you're thinking Samuel is the one staying, don't get your hopes up just yet. In fact, his chances of returning to the Bolts just took a major hit. Look, nobody's questioning Samuel's talent. But here's the reality. He only played 4 games last season due to injuries. And while he was out, the defense didn't just hold up, it thrived, thanks in large part to Molden and Fulton stepping up. That puts the Chargers in a tough spot. Do they break the bank for a guy who's struggled to stay on the field, or do they roll with what's already working? According to projections from Pro Football Focus, Samuel could command around $43.5 million over 3 years. That's a hefty price tag for someone who missed nearly the entire season. And even though the Chargers have the cap space to make it happen, they have to ask themselves, is this the best way to spend that money? The defense has already shown it can hold its own without Samuel, so does it really make sense to invest that much in him when there are other areas of the team that need help? That's where the front office's logic comes in. Instead of overpaying for Samuel, they could bring back Fulton at a lower price and use the savings to bolster the offensive line or add another weapon for Justin Herbert. If the Chargers are serious about making a real playoff run, giving their franchise QB the support he needs might be the smarter play. Now, what do you think? Are the Chargers making the right call by letting Samuel Jr. walk, or is he worth the risk despite the injuries? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This debate is just getting started, and don't miss a single update on the Bolts. Stick with us because this season is going to be wild.